Warren Buffett swears by compounding. He calls compounding the eighth wonder of this world. And here's the craziest part. Most of Warren Buffett's wealth was built after the age of 65. Not because he became like super smart or super crazy good at investing after the age of 65, but really because the power of compounding takes hold in its biggest impact after that period. But here's the thing. I would argue that 99.9% of the people actually don't understand about compounding, even when it is actively championed by famous value investors like Warren Buffett. It feels too slow, too abstract, and very difficult to grasp. People don't translate the theory or the knowledge that they know into a practical thing that they do on a day-to-day basis. Which is why Warren Buffett told people as well in one of his annual general meeting at Berkshire, saying that if you're just a normal person, just buy the index fund. Don't bother with trying to do active investing. In school, we actually also already understand and learn about the power of compounding. If you remember, during middle school, you apply a percentage to a base number, and then the base number keeps growing ever so slightly after one period to the next period until it becomes exponentially large beyond your wildest comprehension. So everyone have learned that, but the question remains, why very few people actually implement the power of compounding in their day-to-day lives? In this video, I will actually help you understand about the power of compounding in a way that is intuitive and easy for you to grasp. Not with finance jargons, but really with your own eyes that you can verify. So stick around. Before I present the answer, let's take a look at the concept of natural representation. Think back on how you first learned how to count about numbers. 1, 2, 3. You didn't really memorize the digits, do you? You counted your fingers and you checked 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, and that's very easy for you to grasp. That is called natural representation. Even when you're trying to learn about the concept of negative numbers, it's also very easy. Let's say you owe $100 to Warren Buffett, means that the number is negative 100. It's very natural. You owe someone money and that someone is expecting you to pay money to them in the amount that you already understand. But here's where the school have failed us. When they teach about compounding, they will make crazy assumptions. Like let's say you put your money in a bank, $100, and then you apply 10% for 20 years. But honestly, who's gonna wait for 20 years, right? Like who's gonna do that? When we learned that, we were 13 years old, and right now I'm not even 33 years old speaking to you at this video. 20 years might as well be forever. And to me, no wonder compounding never really clicked to people in general. They just don't have the consistency and they don't have the real world representation of compounding. So what's the natural way of understanding compounding? The answer might surprise you because the answer is children. Here's the proof. Economists like Cunha and Becken model child development. And the math looks exactly like compound interest. Is that a child's tomorrow depends on their skills today, plus the investments you add in, just like reinvesting the returns. And these two economists found two forces that make the growth and development of a child compounding. The first one is complementary. Early skills that is acquired by a child makes it easier for the child to acquire a more advanced skill. If you learn basic math at 5, it's easier for you to learn algebra at 11 or 12. The second concept is self-productivity. Skills reinforces themselves. You learn piano at 4, and that skill is going to be carried forward to other aspects of life as well. Together, these two forces create this thing called the multiplier effect. Each stage of the growth makes the later stage of the growth even easier and also faster. Now that, my friends, is compounding in human development and human growth. If you want to look at the research paper more, you can take a look at the video description later on at your own time and place. But here's the intuitive wrap up. So when you look at child, let's say your brother has a child or your friends has a newborn, you might be shocked by the growth and development of that particular child. When you first saw them, this kid is still like a baby who's still babbling and throwing tantrums all over the place. But as that child grow older, you'll be realize that, oh my goodness me, they're doing algebra already. Your growth is so fast and unexpectedly crazy. And that's because it's compounding. It's basically the power of compounding working right in front of you. So the next time you want to feel about compounding, think about a child's growth. Day to day, it's invisible. That child is still going to be a child that cries a lot and throwing tantrums, having fights with their friends, and so on and so forth, doing the day-to-day child's things. But year after year, the growth feels astounding. You might not see the child for 1 year, but after that year has gone, you realize that the child has grown tremendously to become another person entirely. And that's why you know that it's compounding that is happening at the background. So it's the same with your wealth. Stop watching your wealth on a day-to-day basis. Trust the process. One day you look back at your wealth, provided that it's invested properly, it might as well shock you because of compounding.